Okay, so today's video is going to be on something a bit more serious. As you may have guessed from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the ugly truth about the whole drone rework, which is going to be happening in update 8.8. For the players asking me when is that update going to arrive, I usually use the special delivery crate timer here as an estimate. So in about 20 days, 16 hours, that is when we can expect the next update to hit. It's going to be changing drones significantly, but we're going to be talking about the compensation because a lot of players have been asking me about that. Now, I was going to do a separate video talking about, all the parts of the game right now that I'm not happy about, that has actually impacted my experience as a player in a negative way. And, Pixonic needs to address those things, but that's going to be coming in a separate video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But as far as the drones go, we're going to take a look at that right now and, kind of have a bit of a discussion or talk here about it. So as far as compensation goes, I'm going to click on the in-game news. So we're going to do that right now. And it says here, drones overhaul, extensive drone overhaul details are here. Please read the article. I highly recommend players click on this link because it's going to go over basically what you are getting back for all the drone chips you have in your inventory. Now, as far as this article goes, I'm going to give my input, or I guess my opinion on a couple of things here. So it says here, drones will have a set of predefined abilities. Now, I actually think this is a good idea, and I've actually mentioned it on my channel that I find it kind of weird how this game is structured. If you look at the PC side of things, usually a PC game is very complex. A mobile game tends to be more simplified. With this game, it's like the opposite. If you look at War Robots Frontiers, it's simplified, whereas the mobile version is really complex and kind of confusing. And I think, having predefined abilities, kind of like War Robots Frontiers with the pilots, I think that's going to be a lot easier for newer players to understand, which is going to be important for the growth of this game. So I think I'm all for this. The drone abilities getting a balance update, that is totally fine, because if you look at certain drones like the Beak or the Nebula, having insane damage potential or resistance, I think that does need to be rebalanced. So I'm totally fine with, these things here. Chips will be also removed. I kind of understand where they're going with that. What I'm not okay with is the compensation part, which I'm going to get to in a bit. So we're just going to scroll through this article here. Streamlined systems. Okay, so this is basically what it's going to look like. They have a Nebula here, so you can see they have on high damage, whatever that is, on spawn durability. This is what it's going to look like. Actually, I do have a Nebula drone on my Fenrir, so I'll show you what it actually looks like right now. So currently we have all these different chips. You can obviously change it. You can see I have a couple of chips I can put on this Nebula. This is all going to disappear. Okay, so according to this article, it's all going to be predefined, and I think this is a good thing because it makes it less confusing for newer players, and that's important for the growth, of War Robots. So I'm totally fine with what they are doing here. Now, the ugly part, I'm going to keep on scrolling here until I get down to the upgrade system because I want to point out a couple of things, and also the compensation of this whole drone rework. Okay, so the cost of upgrading a drone depends on its tier. Tier 1 drone, 100 microchips. So basically, if you have a tier 1 drone and you're looking to max it out, it's going to cost you 100 microchips in order to reach the max level potential of that tier 1 drone. Tier 2, we have 390. Tier 3, 730. Tier 4, 1000 microchips plus. I'm going to put emphasis on the plus part. To fully upgrade a tier 4 drone, you will also need one upgrade token. So basically what they've done here, they've created a system similar to robots and weapons where when you go from MK212 to MK3, you need an MK3 token to max out. In this case, it's going to be a drone. So this part I really don't like. And the thing is, Pixonic has said they're trying to streamline everything, trying to simplify things, but yet they have an extra level in order to upgrade. That is not simplifying at all. And in all honesty, it's putting up another level of, a paywall, if you will, for the free players. And I think that part, for this game to grow in a healthy way, I think that needs to be eliminated from the game. Again, this is just my opinion, but I would remove the MK3 token for the robots, the weapons, and in this case, this extra upgrade token for drones. That is what I would do, in my opinion. You guys can share your thoughts in the comment section down below regarding that. But yeah, I'm only assuming that, after this, we are probably going to see upgrade tokens for, I'm guessing, Titans and motherships, I would imagine, because if they've done it for, robots and weapons and now drones, that is probably going to be coming next, and perhaps even for modules too, because we haven't even gotten to that point yet. But as far as compensation goes, this is where things start to get ugly. Okay, so for each chip you have, you will receive a certain amount of the new currency. Tier 1 chip, 0.1 microchips. Tier 2, 2 microchips. Tier 3, 20 microchips. Tier 4, 100 microchips. If you guys are wondering, why is this 0.1? If I had to guess, it's probably because when you log into the game, quite often when you play a couple of games, you get a bunch of these free tier 1 chips. And because, it's pretty much in an abundance, because of that, the value of the chip goes down. So I think that's the reason why. I know this because when I play on my baby account, quite often after a couple of games, I have a bunch of these free tier 1 chips, which I then combine into tier 2. And then, after I have a bunch of those, I combine that into tier 3. That's how I've actually been doing it on that free account. So I think that's the reason why this amount. But that's not the thing that's really upsetting here. So when I first heard about this, I had to kind of read through everything very carefully. I prefer to actually do this instead of just kind of jumping out there, putting out a video, getting it wrong, and then creating a toxic sort of environment amongst my viewers, which is not what I'm trying to do here. But when I did read this, there were a couple of red flags. So you have here, the compensation will have an upper limit of 5,000 microchips. First of all, you should not even have an upper limit at all. But the thing is, you've actually gone on to say here, this should be enough to upgrade 5 tier 4 drones. The problem that I have with this part here is the fact that, players have spent their time grinding for tier 3, tier 4 chips. Some of them will actually have, the drone and everything on it maxed out, which they've worked towards. They've actually earned this. In some cases, even bought it with real money. And now you're taking it away, giving them back pretty much a subpar thing. Okay, so they've earned everything. You're giving it back to them and then telling them they have to level it up again. And on top of that, they have to use an upgrade token in order to max it out. The thing is, they deserve that maxed out. And I think what you're doing here is totally wrong and it should not be allowed. So that is my thought on that. Okay, so having a limit means that no matter how many chips you have on your account, you will not be able to receive. So they're just going into, explaining the rest of this. They have here, however, if the number of chips you have allows you to reach this limit, you will also receive a new tier 4 Deltaki drone for free. Okay, so if you have reached this limit, you are going to get this new drone. In addition, for every 2,500 microchips after the conversion, you will receive 1 upgrade token. So first of all, I don't like the whole upgrade token thing to begin with. But the thing that is really upsetting is the fact that you've taken away, things that players have actually worked towards. They've maxed out, and now they have to max it out again. And on top of that, they have to get this upgrade token in order to do that. So I hope that you are going to be implementing this upgrade token elsewhere in the game where they can get it. But the bottom line is they work towards, whatever it is, whether it be a robot, in this case, it's going to be a drone. They have it maxed out. In some cases, they've spent a lot of money in order to max it out. And now you are telling them to max it out again. And on top of that, they have to, get this upgrade token. That is a big no-no, and you should not be doing that. So if you are watching this, this is something that you need to address, whether it be through, this part of the game, whether it be through, drones or future, compensation that you have in the game. I think this is something that you need to rethink, because what you're doing there is basically stealing. So you've also got here, as part of update 8.8, all players with an account level of 27 plus will receive a tier 4 barrel drone. So for the players who are new to the game, once you get to level 27 and above, you will receive a tier 4 barrel drone. This is just the rest of, what they have here. But I did want to talk about this because, Pixonic, you should not be doing this at all. Okay, that is stealing from the players. And if they've worked towards something that is maxed out, they deserve to get that maxed out drone or whatever, or be compensated accordingly based on what they have. But yeah, in the comment section below, guys, let me know what you think of that. And as I said, I will be doing a separate video talking about other issues in the game, which has really affected my enjoyment as far as some of the changes in the game and things that I've experienced. My experience level in the game, that is all going to be coming in a separate video probably next week. It's going to take time for me to gather all of that stuff and edit and stuff like that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.